So most people think you have to go to the bar and get drinks in order to build a community. When we got this house, I envisioned building community in this backyard. So I'm gonna give you a tour. I'm Todd Anderson. I'm the co-founder of Dream Recovery, sleep recovery expert. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and we'll keep them coming, so check it out. As you can see, my friend Jade over here is always just hanging out, but kind of have like a lot of football games on here, a lot of doors open, hanging out. We have all the Normatec stuff over in the lounge area. Hyperice actually bought Normatec, so same company. I mean, the Normatec stuff is awesome. Just honestly, the best use case is repeat competitions. So Katie used to use them when she was swimming for the Olympics. She would do them between practices, between morning and PM practice. But really, it's just a lymphatic flush. The hip, Jay's got the hip ones on, and they basically compress your hip. I think those are underrated. People have seen the long, like the leg ones, but the hip ones, like from a athlete's perspective, I feel like so much is going on, glutes, piriformis, all those things, and so like those are actually my favorite. You don't see them too often, but you know, I love those like after big runs, or I probably should do it. I tweaked my calf, so I should probably throw those on, but they're just an awesome tool. Shout out to the Normatec team, Hyperice team, for hooking it up. We got the double red light panels for people to get their red light done. We got over here, as you can see, we got the Cold Creek collab with Sisu. Best cold plunge I've ever had. They're also a podcast sponsor, but ozone filters, literally the easiest maintenance cold plunges. You turn these on and don't touch them, and the water's clean and always cold. Pretty hard to beat. So I keep them about 42. That one I keep it like 55 for the newbies. Then we have two saunas. So we have the Sisu cabin sauna. This is where we film Beat the Heat. This is the one I use most often just because I like to see, but this thing rips. I mean, this thing, the cabin, like this shape, the square shape is more traditional in Finland. That's because you want minimal distance from the top bench where you sit to the ceiling, because that's where all the heat is. You always want to be above the heater. So you can see the heater here is low. You sit high, and from a traditional sauna perspective, like they wouldn't love the barrel. This would be like your you know, Scandinavian Finnish sauna, and the one we filmed the podcast in. That's why you see these mounts out here. We have a big selection of sauna hats all over the place. And then take you up here. So we have the all day running, just the OG cold plunge. Obviously, honestly, is used to put drinks in more often than anything. We have the saltwater hot tub. Actually, I hurt my back, you know, like 6 or 9 months ago, and I started going in the hot tub in the morning to loosen up. And I used to be a hardcore cold plunge person. I think the science has evolved, and I'm definitely less hardcore. And I love getting in the hot tub in the morning. I don't know, something just calming, being out here listening to the birds, checking emails, maybe a few TikTok videos, and then Sisu shower, outdoor shower. They're coming out with a new Sisu shower very soon. I'll have a new one within a month or so. And then this is my baby. This is the original Sisu barrel sauna. You know, I've spent hundreds of hours in here, so many people. So after you do the saunas, we had the sauna guest book, and so we made these to just kind of like keep track of the memories. I almost burned our house down. I bought brands off of like Alibaba and branded the book, and it almost caused a fire, which was cool. So you can see we have the big books. Put Ali down. So anyone that comes over, the idea is you put notes in. So you have name, date, temperature, duration, experience. You can see all of our friends that we met just in the last couple of years. They signed into the book, and it's really cool looking back, you know, after 2.5 years in Nashville. I mean, it's amazing how many friends we've made, how many sauna experience we've been through, but just kind of makes you smile. And I think it's hard to capture stuff like that. So I'm glad that we did it, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more. Hopefully one day everybody out there can come get their picture taken and put in the book. These are BFR blood flow restriction cuffs. So essentially these are Bluetooth. The brand is Saga, but these are sweet. So like I've done blood flow restriction. Man, it originated probably 2012. Dr. Jeremy Lenicky, I believe, did a lot of the studies. I think he's at Ole Miss or he was. But anyway, so what it does is if you have an injury or you're trying to build muscle, if you restrict some of the blood flow, it will actually elicit the same response from a workout that doing like crazy heavy weight and reps does. So like normally, you know, to build muscle, you'd have to like really challenge the muscle. Well, if you have an injury, that's not possible, right? If I hurt my calf, I can't work it that hard. So when you restrict the blood flow and you take them off, you get a anabolic response, you get more growth hormone production. It allows you to actually recover and build muscle without having to push it to the level because you're not able to. These are the Normatec Percussion guns, brand new guys. You'll see these actually, you know, they were one of the first companies to actually sign with the NBA, like a big partnership, and they have them on the sides of every single chair in the NBA. But the goal here is to basically a massage gun. Hyperice is kind of like the OG, and you know, when we work with athletes, honestly, we use these more for pre than post. It can be really good in like stimulating some neural activation, muscle activation prior. Can be useful for some recovery stuff, but if there's already trauma to a muscle, like if you're sore and you've worked out and you're trying to recover, using a percussion gun, creating more trauma, for the most part, tend to try to do some more things that are more movement-based, increasing drainage, but we're not trying to cause more trauma. So I think there's a time and place for these. And I really do like them to increase range of motion and kind of warm up the muscle. Then we got the red light panels here. So these are from Cozy. I have a few red light panels, but some interesting studies, even like the last couple months have come out. What we're realizing with red light is one, from a cellular perspective, great for the mitochondria, but I think the thing that's most interesting to me is the amount that the light actually penetrates your skin. I think initially it was like, oh, you're just signaling to the skin layers, the really superficial layers, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but you'll see that a lot in the cosmetic, you know, the aesthetic space. But now what they're realizing is this light penetrates pretty deep into the skin, can actually impact even like organs. And so I would say I'm much more bullish on red light than I would have been a year ago. And it's something I do need to do more regularly. What's cool about this one is you can turn it horizontally, roll it onto the couch and just lay there. For some reason, I just have a hard time wanting to stand in front of a panel for 20 minutes. Yeah, so pro tip, I mean, so especially if you push it in the sauna session, you don't want to just come out and jump right in the cold, even if you're super hot. The reason being, a couple reasons. One, like your blood pressure, as you're getting hotter and hotter, your blood pressure is rising, your pulse is going up, your blood vessels are expanding, and the exact opposite is going to happen when you get in the cold. Not only is it going to cause constriction and change in blood pressure, you're also changing positions, going from standing to sitting. So I always recommend, as much as you want to, get out of the sauna, sit down in a similar position as the cold plunge for 2 or 3 minutes, let your blood pressure stabilize, and then go in the cold. When you really have a problem is when people come out, they go in the cold, they'll be fine for a while, they go to get back out, and then that's when bad things happen. So be smart, don't rush into it, and honestly, you'll get more of an impact from the cold if you wait a couple minutes, because the cold is really like a stress response. So if you get right out of the hot into the cold, 2 minutes in, you're really just returning to baseline, probably minute and a half in. You're not getting that stress response from the cold. If you let yourself cool off a little bit, it's going to be harder to get in the cold, but I think you'll actually get more of a response. You'll get more of that dopamine hit because it's more of a stressor to your body. So you'll also feel better. So I'd say optimally, you go in the sauna for 20 minutes or whatever, you come out, sit there for 3 to 5 minutes. Like, let yourself cool off. It is going to be hard to get in the cold, but get in the cold, sit there 2 or 3 minutes, get out slowly, and then go back and forth into the hot. You're okay getting back in the hot right away, just because it's going to take you a while. Like, the conduction of air is much more gradual than water, so once you get in there, it's going to take you a while to warm back up. You'll probably stay in longer, but I would say that's the best approach for like a really awesome session where like you're going to feel pretty electric afterwards, as opposed to just bouncing back and forth. You won't get as much of a pop in your mood. So obviously this is a huge privilege, and I'm grateful to have all this stuff. I understand it's not realistic to have all this stuff, but I think you'd be shocked at how many gyms, YMCAs, they have saunas, even like hot tubs. Like, there are communities out there. The communities are growing in the sauna world, but honestly, it's like even just going for walks or finding a lake or doing things more active together. I think if you can move and you get some of those like neurotransmitters pumping and do different things that bring joy to you other than going to the bar and getting drinks, that bond happens a lot faster. And the other thing, doing things where you don't have your phone, you're able to connect face to face for an extended period of time. And that's why the podcast started. That's why I love the sauna is you're in the sauna, there's no phones. And I'm guilty of this. If I'm with somebody, I'll have my phone out. It's easy to be distracted, but when you're in there, you're connected. And it's crazy just, spending a session sauning with somebody, how good of friends you become and how quickly you become friends, as opposed to like going out to the bar and grabbing drinks or even going to dinner with couples. I think that nothing beats a conversation going through a little bit of adversity with no phones and just kind of grinding it out together. With that, in Nashville, from a community perspective, we do have a run club every Sunday at Shelby Park, 4 p.m. Sometimes we do invite people back here to sauna afterwards. So if you're in Nashville, hit me up. I'd love to hang, get you in the sauna book, have a sauna session, and hope to see you soon. Please like, subscribe. You'll get a free pass to the backyard sauna if you like and subscribe, potentially. But we really do appreciate it. Be cranking out videos and plenty more to come.